Hello, this is Erin from The Joy in Pens and Paper. Thank you for joining me today as I talk about my impressions of the pen and ink combination that I have had for the month of June, just over halfway through the month. So if that sounds like content you're interested in, please subscribe and give it a like so that other people are able to see this. So the inks that I have inked up for this month that I'm using are these 6 right here. These are my primary ones. And I'm going to do just a little bit of flipping around, but ooh, I closed that too soon. Look at all that. So this month so far, here's my pens. So I've got the Pelikan Sovereign M400 with Dominant Industry Winter Wood. Now, interestingly here, this looks like a very light ink, but in fact, it is much darker. So looking at even this, it almost comes across close to black, but you see that's a lighter brown compared to this. So that was kind of interesting. I think there was some water in here from when I cleaned it out before. So far this month I have done now 4 pages of journaling because I haven't marked off this one right here. And I'm going to do a 5th day today. And looking in the barrel of the pen, it's tough to tell. I think there's about this much more ink. Oops, sorry, you can't even see that. I think this much more ink left. So this is getting towards the bottom. Today's the 19th. I'm actually a little worried that my pens are going to run out. The next one is Laban Rosa in lilac, and this is inked up with Dominant Industry Downpour. And this one, it's actually, I scooted this all the way to the end. I am on the final drops of this ink. This has been really nice to work with this month. So here is a writing sample. Let me see if I can, here's another one. Much like the other inks that I've used in the Laban Rosa, when I first start writing, it comes out dark, and then as I write, it lightens up. This was actually right after I inked it up that I wrote. I still absolutely adore my handwriting in this pen. For whatever reason, I think it just brings out the best in my handwriting. It's comfortable. I can do long writing sessions. It's a nice weight. I actually was looking at some of the other colors that they have in the Laban Rosa to perhaps get another one. There wasn't a colorway that really spoke to me at a deep level. So I am still looking at perhaps getting an Esterbrook because I'm interested in that one. All right, next up is my Narwhal or Novelar Nautilus in Grand Rhapsody with a fine nib. And this is inked up with Birmingham Pen Company Rhubarb. Sorry, I'm just second guessing myself. Yeah, that is a fine. Sorry, there's an F right there. The Nautilus has a little window right here, so you can see the ink amount, and the ink is starting to get low. When I hold it upright, you can see right through. Look at that beautiful red there. And then when I hold it down here, you don't have that same see-through. So there's still good amount of ink. I am also using this in my Hobonichi 5-year, so I definitely want to make sure I have enough for that. And here is a writing sample. So it's really nice like a dark dusty rose. It has some really nice shading to it. I also really love writing with this pen. I also looked at the different colorway options in this particular pen just because I really love how this fits in my hand. I do typically post, and this can't post, not super mad about it because it just is so comfortable. So this has been a really nice pen and ink combination. And I also think the color goes really nice. I don't always try to match. Right now I'm in a kind of matching phase, but the color goes really nice with the body of this pen. All right, and next up is Ferris Wheel Press brush pen, and with a fine nib, and this is inked up with Monteverde Pumpkin Cake. So before I open this pen up, I do want to show the writing sample. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous coppery color with beautiful shading, and in the shading it has almost this kind of little bit more orangey pop to it. But what's fascinating is look at the mess on that nib. So with this particular ink, it is creeping out on the nib, and let's see if you can see it. It's creeping out right here as well. And it's gunky. It's the best way that I can describe it. So I have wiped off the accumulated gunk a few times and it comes back. I've not had that with any other ink in this pen. So I'm a little fascinated by it. I'm ready to try a different ink in here and see if perhaps it's the pen, but I think it's actually the ink. So that'll be my only downside so far. All right, so next up is my other Ferris Wheel Press brush pen. This one has a gold-plated fine nib. Now, interestingly, I do enjoy the writing experience of the steel nib a little bit more than the gold-plated, but I also have not tried the same ink in both of these at the same time to see what my real preference is. So this one does not have any of that gunk, so that's good. And this is inked up with Sailor Shikiori Shito Shito, and I don't know if I said the last one was Monteverde Pumpkin Cake. Can't remember if I actually said that. But the Shito Shito is this really nice turquoise color. It has some really nice shading. There are times where the ink flow is a little bit wetter versus other times where it's a little drier, so that's fascinating. And let's see how much ink is left in here. It has about half a converter left. Oh, interesting. There we go. Yeah, it's about half a converter left, so I've got some good writing left in this for the month, so that's good. Oh, and let's check and see how much is left for Monteverde Pumpkin Cake. Maybe about a quarter, a third, quarter to a third left. Okay, and then this one has been inked up every month, so I'm really not going to talk about that. The only thing I do want to point out is my Pilot Firmo with Birmingham Pen Company Burnt Walnut. It is pretty much empty. So this one I am likely going to clean out today and get up with something different, finally, and see how I like that, because I have only had burnt walnut in my Firmo since I got it. And then the Diamine Inkvent Storm, I didn't write with it for close to a whole month, and then I picked it up and wrote the rest of this journal page in this, and it picked up without a hitch. Definitely was a little shimmer heavy towards the beginning here, and then it wrote beautifully the next day as well. So it's just fascinating that this pen, when I refill the ink cartridge with Diamine Storm, it initially writes fine, and then the next time I pick it up, it is clogged to no end, and I have to flush it, and I have to prime it, and but then it writes fine the rest of the fill. So that's kind of my only complaint about this ink and pen pairing. So I will do another video towards the end of the month to wrap up my thoughts on my pens and inks and the combination for this month, as well as kind of how far they got me. And then I will start planning what I'm going to ink up for next month. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you're not subscribed, hit that button below so that you can watch all my further content. All right, thanks. Bye.